about those ads.
Oops.
Oh,
Okay.
what?
Bruce Springsteen's trying to take over?
No, that the guy behind it, what firm is it?
Progressive.
The guy behind it is, anti-family and all this bullshit, and he doesn't want people to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
I have never placed a lot of faith.
Springsteen could probably write a good song about that.
Why
12:03.
are you against fun?
Josh
Joe?
Arnold.
Everything that's fun, you're against.
I like the ads, Kitty. I'm telling you what I heard. Josh Arnold, investment consultant.
Good.
Josh Arnold, investment consultant, brings you Garage Logic Podcast number 1705, January 29, 2025. 50 degrees was the record high in this state. That was just 2 years ago in 2024. And as chilly as 29 below in 1951. Call Josh Arnold at 925-5608 for a free 48-minute consultation.
Hail the flashlight king.
And now, from the mayor's office above the boathouse on the east shore of Spoon Lake, it's Garage Logic with Chris Reavers manning Technology Corner, Kenny Olson from the Krabby Coffee Shop, John Heidt in the newsroom, and of course, the rookie. Here is your flashlight king, fireworks commissioner, and the keeper of common sense, your mayor, Joe Soucheray.
I had a nice chat today with a water department employee.
Oh, boy.
You're kidding.
And I relished it. It was a wonderful chat. Civil, no politics, no opinions. I asked
How this
him,
happened? Were you standing in line maybe at Cub Foods or waiting to get a cup of coffee or even at the gas pump?
Out for a walk? Were you out
How
for
did
a
this
walk?
happen? Where you ran
I
into
saw his
a-
truck and pulled up alongside him and motioned for him to roll down the window. And I rolled down the window and I said, how long after you guys repair a brake before you can drink the water in your house? And I said, because she's shooting a lot of air. He said, yeah, shoot a lot of air out of there. You got to wait a few minutes, let her clear out.
So he knew his stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Did you introduce yourself as
No, I did
the
not.
one and only Joe Soucheray
I did
from
not
the Pioneer
introduce
Press
myself.
and Garage Logic. You're fake. I'm a fake mayor.
In fact, it was right over in this neighborhood. It wasn't even in my neighborhood, but in my neighborhood, they've been fixing a water break. And for 2 days now, if you turn on the water, you still get air being expelled. And I was sicker than a dog yesterday when the water first came back on.
So you're drinking it?
What have I always said about St. Paul
Well,
water?
it's your own fault
it's
then.
excellent,
If you want to
wonderful,
drink
wonderful
manure water, you're going to get sick.
Well, why would it suddenly have manure in
Oh,
it?
you half-wit. Everybody knows you don't drink water after they fixed a main.
Well, how long do you wait?
A couple months.
Oh, jeez.
612-895-2440 or visit HoffermanWater.com.
There you go.
okay.
Right there.
Well, that Hofferman would have come in handy.
Since you've mentioned the water break,
Can I finish my point?
my oldest son and we always watch the school closings this time of the year, and he said, Dad, that school got closed because of a sewage line breakage.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Oh.
Now, can I finish my larger point?
Sure.
We forget that these conversations can actually be had. We're so screwed up now.
Oh, yeah.
How screwed up
that-
are we?
Well, we're so screwed up that everything is tainted by some political leaning or the other. And it was just nice to, hey, you're a city guy. I'm a taxpayer. I got a few questions. The guy was cool. Blah blah blah. That happens.
How sheltered are you? Seriously.
Pretty.
What happened to you
Listen
this
to this
morning?
guy who lives like a hermit in the
Listen.
middle of some tree stump area lake. that
Listen, Mr. Breaking
stumps are
News.
growing out of it.
What happened to you this morning goes on all day, every day with Americans everywhere.
You're right, and we
What
forget
happened
that.
to you this morning
We
is
forget
not rare.
It is.
No, it's not rare at all. This is how we're living.
Of course we are, and we forget that because everything's tainted miserably.
You forget that because you're a grump and you focus on the negative.
You're
in
full
life.
of beeswax.
That is a shock.
You're just full of beeswax.
Wow, you're full of
That's a
beeswax,
good one,
Kenny.
actually. I got to use that one. Beeswax.
Well, maybe this will help. illustrate what I'm attempting to convey.
Please.
I'll shut up now.
Since when?
We don't know that.
I got a nice note. Does he say don't use my name? Nope, I can use his name. Rick Schmidberger. That's kind of a neat name, isn't it? Schmidberger.
Mm-hmm.
Schmitty.
What's up, Schmitty? Yeah.
Schmitty. Hail the Flashlight King.
Hail you!
That was pretty good. He's referring to a letter I must have read Monday that quoted that Dylan Allman about how tribalism has taken over the country. And he said, that got me thinking about a quote you used to read all the time from Garth Partridge on climate change being a quasi-religion. Do you all remember my keen interest in Garth? I got it here because I keep it on. I keep it out in the other
Read it
office.
to me.
The Garth Partridge is an Australian physicist and highly decorated academic of the non-failed kind, and he wrote this. Let's see if we have a date on this. This is from, I've been hanging on to this since April of 2019.
Oh, wow.
And he wrote this for Quadrant Magazine Online. And let me just refresh you who Garth is. Look it up for me, Rook, so you can give me just a brief bio. Garth. Well, here, I have it. Never mind.
Okay.
He's an emeritus professor at the University of Tasmania and a fellow of the Australian Academy of Sciences. He is the author of The Climate Caper, Facts and Fallacies of Global Warming, and he was a chief research scientist with the CSIRO Division of Atmospheric Research. I don't know what that's an acronym for, but he's smarter than the average podcast host. And I'll read his quote that I've been clinging to for years after I read Schmitty's email. The letter you read yesterday with the quote from Dylan Allman about how tribalism has taken over the country today led me to think about a quote you used to read all the time from Garth Partridge and climate change being a quasi-religion. Then he notes, read Garth's quote here. Okay, I will. I guess I thought I was going to wait a bit, but I'll read it here. Perhaps the whole idea of being fair to the people of the future should be reversed. Perhaps they can easily afford to owe us something in retrospect. The bottom line of politically correct thought on the matter, the thought that we must collectively do something drastic now to prevent climate change in the future, is so full of holes that it brings the overall sanity of mankind into question. For what it is worth, one possible theory is that mankind, or at least that fraction of it that has become both overeducated and more delicate as a result of a massive increase of its wealth in recent times, has managed to remove the beliefs of existing religions from its consideration, and now it misses them. As a replacement, it has manufactured a set of beliefs about climate change that can be used to guide and ultimately to control human behavior. The beliefs are similar to those of the established religions in that they are more or less unprovable in any strict scientific sense. I've always admired that paragraph of writing.
Okay.
Because he's right. It's insane to think that you can understand and take into account all the variables of the Earth's atmosphere and its weather and its climate and come up with something that would hold true against future prognostication. So I'm a Garth Partridge guy.
Got it.
I like what he thinks. And this guy goes on to write, we're back to the email from Schmid. If our country's lack of faith at one time was directed towards climate change, like Partridge claimed, but now with climate change being forgotten, and he's not wrong, it's not that it's been forgotten, it's been put in its place. Mm-hmm. I wonder if it has morphed into something that we are seeing today. If the cultivated resistance to evidence that Allman talked about is true on both sides, MAGA and progressives, and people are willing to die for their cause, how can this not be an ideological battle? That, to me, only makes sense when they will not see any other view than their own. Take Nakimi Levy, what's her last name? Armstrong. For example. Actually, he uses Chantil Allen. Take Chantil Allen, for example. In years past, if a school board member stormed a church service, there would be immediate cries from people for them to resign. Today, not a peep about it. Is this because she is fighting a religious war alongside her fellow Mysterians who believe what she is doing is right and just? Let me pause right there. Well, no, I won't pause. I'll read. This can be applied to Trump and how the MAGA movement thinks of him as a god who can do no wrong. January 6th, bombing drug boats, no due process, what is playing out here, etc. The same could be applied to the last presidency and his bumbles, or even Walz with all the fraud in our media that skews the information. Is it based on a new religious belief? I think that is why the rest of us stuck in the middle just can't wrap our heads around either extreme and their thoughts or actions. This may be why we can't have conversations with other people. Like I just had with the water guy, okay? That had nothing to do with any of this. Which is what I was trying to say. This may be why we can't have conversations with other people about it either, because it goes against their belief down to their soul. Nobody likes to be wrong, but if it's a moral belief you are arguing against, they will be blinded by emotion from their own new faith. Keep pushing back, Rick from Stacy. I think he raises a wonderful point, an absolutely wonderful point. Now let me speak to Chantil Allen for a moment. Would it be a fair statement to, now Chantil Allen has never done anything what's the correct and charitable way to put it? She's never had a job that could be measured for achievement. She's a professional activist.
Got it.
And she got herself a gig on the St. Paul School Board. Okay. And again, I've brought this up many times. She was confronted by police 3 or 4 years ago for attempting to create out of whole cloth a racial incident at a restaurant she happened to be at.
Yes.
Where she put on Facebook, come on down and join me at this restaurant. Let's give these people some grief. And it was all stemming from apparently she had asked or was told or was asked if she could move tables because the one she wasn't at wasn't clean or whatever. Okay, and it turned out to be completely false. She manufactured it. She treated the help at that restaurant poorly. Yep. There was no racial incident whatsoever. And yet that did not affect her position on the school board.
Yeah.
Now, here's my statement, and I'm wondering if it's a fair statement. Was there a time in America where that kind of behavior would have or should have cost you your position on a public board? Is that a reasonable question, or am I taking away her rights?
I think the question that would even precede that is, people didn't do that before. That wasn't done.
Well, but people, right. But the there's a racial industry, and she, in her clumsy way, was trying to take advantage of that by trying to be this heroine who would point out, I'm being treated unfairly by this restaurant, which she was not at all. And so she created this mess that required the police to show up and determine that, well, lady, you have nothing to stand on here. Was there a time when that would have affected the way voters thought about her?
Yes. They would not have been.
Staff, anyone? John?
Well, it should have. Yes,
Kenny?
I certainly believe it has.
I can't answer you. I don't know.
Well, let's answer the question.
I wasn't asked.
Right, it is.
On purpose.
That was by design.
Damn it.
Let's answer the question based on the Garth Partridge belief that we have new religions among us. You might even say there's a leftist religion, and you might even say there's a rightist religion.
Your tribe theory.
Tribe theory.
Yeah.
All right. Given the tribe theory, it's not surprising to me at all that she would not have been held to some higher expectations as a school board member, because she is protected, A, by her race, and B, by the idea that because of her race, I'm going out on a limb here, because of her race, she could never be considered to have done something wrong.
She got carte blanche.
Staff? Anyone? Anyone?
I don't like the threat of losing your job always being thrown out for every
I am
little
trying
thing.
to be very charitable here in the way I'm stating it.
I know.
But what? Okay.
As much as I dislike her, oh my God, I dislike her.
But if you manufacture that story,
different question.
All right.
Stick to my original
All right.
question.
Try me from a different
Was
angle.
there a time, let's just make it as recently in the last 50 years, which is only 1976.
wow.
Was in the last 50 years, would there still have been room for civil discourse to say to Chantel Allen, what you did was wrong?
Yeah.
And there would be
And
pressure
now
for her
that
to
will
resign.
not be said. That will not be said.
Well, it's so tribal now that her side will say she had the perfect right, and our side would say,
You know what you're asking?
You're a moron.
Sorry, Ken. You know what you're asking in a roundabout way? The lessening of standards. There used to be standards, right?
Of course. And Chantel Allen should be expected to uphold standards as much as any other person. But because of her protected status, seen in the light of victimhood, it was okay for her to create that mess.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
And it has had no effect. I didn't intend for this show to be about Chantel Allen, but it's a great example. Where was I going? And as a result of it being okay for her to have created that mess with no repercussions, she continues to enjoy a spot on the school board. And I don't think voters have ever taken into consideration the stunt she did. It was not, it wasn't the end of the world stunt. It certainly wasn't
But it was a lie.
major in scope, but she was lying. And it involved a police department. And they had to come and say, you have nothing here, lady. What are you doing? And she walked away and nothing ever came of it. Okay.
See, to me, you're talking about cancel culture, and in my mind, and I don't know if I'm right or not, the bar is a lot higher if you're going to cancel somebody on the left compared to canceling somebody on the right.
What does that suggest?
You tell
Double
me.
standard.
Well, if that's true,
Double standard.
If that's true, it would suggest, and I don't know the answer, it would suggest then that those on the left are more successful at forgiving this and allowing it to continue.
But they wouldn't if the shoe was on the other
Did you
foot.
see where a Canadian comic was coming to town today or this weekend for 6 shows at a place in St. Paul? And he's been canceled.
Really?
Yeah. What? John, please, could you quickly go on the Twin
worldwide
Cities,
Somebody good?
the TwinCities.com website and find me this fellow's name? I personally think that I understand completely why he was canceled.
Ben Bankus.
Ben Bankus, a Canadian. Could
know.
you fill us in, John, on just the facts there?
Yeah, apparently he, in one of his bits, was doing jokes about Renee Good.
What were the jokes, John? If you go deeper into the story,
there
you
ain't
can
nothing
find the
funny
jokes.
about
I
that.
couldn't find the jokes.
They're in there. They're in the story.
TC, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
they're towards the end.
Why would he do that?
It's an online story only. With our deadlines, it certainly didn't make
He
the printed
appears to be
newspaper.
a conservative from the headlines I'm reading.
Well, yeah.
This is the first I've ever heard of him.
Right,
Joe,
me
so
too.
it's all
I've never
new
heard
to
of
me.
him. And what's the name of the facility, John? I've never
I'm
heard of that.
getting there. Hang on.
According to the Star Tribune article, and I can only see the headline, the comedian would have been one of the strongest draws in Laugh Camp Comedy Club's history. What's Laugh Camp Comedy Club?
Apparently, there's a place in St. Paul named Laugh Camp.
Okay.
Where it's stand-ups are showing
It's
up.
a bar, cabaret.
I'm unaware of it. Where is it?
It's in downtown. You find I don't know where the
My God,
actual address is.
St. Paul has a new business?
He might not be a conservative. I can't tell here. Why would you pick a side, though, if you're a comedian? Boy, that's a sure way to go nowhere.
And John, you're not finding his jokes?
Just to answer Kenny's question, a ton of really good comedians who do weeklies in New York just show up and do them.
Yeah.
I've been doing jokes about Minneapolis for 2 weeks.
Are they?
Everyone.
But is that Minneapolis or is that specifically Renee?
It's the situations themselves. They're making fun of, well, everyone I've seen's, making fun of ICE and the government, basically.
Yeah.
So,
And he was saying
Okay.
things like, it's a shame she wasn't shot 10 times.
This was supposed to be
Jesus,
one of the
really?
biggest
Yes.
weekends in Laugh Camp Comedy Club's
Oh.
history. 6 sold-out shows with a red-hot national headliner. Instead, the St. Paul Club's owner, Bill Collins, canceled Ben Backus's performances after footage circulated of the comedian ridiculing Renee Good, who was fatally shot by an ICE agent. Quote, honestly, I don't see any way we can safely present this show in the current climate, Collins said earlier this week, right before informing ticket holders of his decision on how they can get refunds. I'm not sure any amount of security or pre-planning would mitigate the liability that I'd face if something were to happen. Collins began to worry about the shows in, as John mentioned, in New York just a few days after Good's death. The clips, one of which has over 369,000 likes on Instagram, drew the ire of several local comics, including Bailey Murphy. It's a 150-seat space on 490 Robert Street North. And
It's in the Rossmore building.
Oh, okay.
Joe, I am not seeing the jokes in
Well,
the story.
I read them in my online version, something about, and I hope her dog's all right. And
Oh,
he was
here we go.
Yeah,
Yep.
go ahead, John.
The clip, I'll just read it verbatim, so don't hold me to it.
Right.
He said, now for a moment of silence for Renee Good. Really hope that dog's okay, and her pet. Her last name was Good. That's what I said after they shot her in the face. Backus goes on to call Good a dumb, retarded lesbian who should have been shot 10 minutes before.
oh boy.
Okay. Now,
That's bold to try that. Wow. Oof.
now here's what I would say. I would have canceled him too. And the guy, the owner of the club's got a good reason. He doesn't need any BS. He doesn't need violence. He doesn't need a protest at his place. So that's fine with me. He has every right in the world, as far as I'm concerned, to say that, but I don't have to hire him.
Yeah, I think maybe in the Twin Cities that'd be tough. The club owner probably did the right thing there.
I think so.
Yeah.
Apparently,
But look at it from the tribal aspect. Half, let's just use the halves. Half the country would think that's funny, and half would not think it's funny.
Right.
There's got to be at least a quarter that wouldn't think it's funny
Okay.
for other reasons, right? I mean,
Yeah, I hope. But
even if they were not for protesters, etc., they still wouldn't find that funny.
And regardless
hope,
of whether it's
please.
funny or not, you know what I mean? That the whole decision is based upon a guy making a business decision.
Yeah, that's
Right,
I think
exactly.
that's
which is fine with me.
Yeah.
He has a right to make a business
100%,
decision.
yeah.
And this moron has a right to say something that idiotic. But
Yeah,
I don't
so-
have to hire you to say it.
Exactly.
right.
Go and stand on a street corner if you want and say it.
He's had other canceled performances in Toronto because apparently he made jokes about the indigenous people in Canada.
Oh boy.
So several venues said, see ya.
Well, so he's going with the whole shock jock value,
Yeah.
and he's going to end up getting.
This
And
is
he'll
this
end
is
up-
Opie and Anthony here.
He'll be hosting SNL before long.
Well, no.
God, no, they wouldn't. Oh my
Oh, no,
God,
that's
no.
true, yeah,
no.
yeah.
So this is down the street from Keys and by Swati Restaurant.
I know where
It's
it is.
so hard to maintain that level when you're doing that kind of material.
Right.
Like Andrew Dice Clay.
No, this would be worse.
This is worse than
Andy.
Andrew Dice Clay looks like a Boy Scout compared to this.
Yeah, no, this is more. Did you ever hear any of Opie and Anthony?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
That's some of that stuff, you know, and it's funny and it works for people, but damn, it's hard to maintain that
But
kind of.
that's not even a matter of too soon. That's just a no-no.
Well, it's not. But it is in this market.
North American Banking Company. I'm sure they appreciate that lead in. No, I'm
Yeah.
kidding. You know what? It's a wonderful operation that's been investing in your success since 1998. Locally owned and operated, and trying to create a better banking experience for you, for your family, and also for all of you business owners. Locally owned and operated means one thing. That means loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities. They don't send those out of state. So that way you business owners can solve problems quickly and also expand your business with confidence. You see, their experts deal with numbers every single day, but you will never be one of them. And they offer the same updated online and mobile banking tools as all of those other big national banks. Whether you're looking to buy a home, finance a new home renovation project, get that new car that you've been thinking about, or like I mentioned, expanding your business. Their experts make it so easy and also convenient. So see it for yourself. Check them out online today. It's nabankco.com to learn more, with 6 easy and convenient Twin Cities locations to serve you. nabankco.com to learn more. It's banking done differently. North American Banking Company, member FDIC, is an equal housing lender. Joe Souchere.
When you go to, well,
The store.
standards. Let's get back to attempting to understand this. Do our institutions have the same standards that they had as recently as 50 years ago?
Give an example. Who?
The city councils.
How about Congress?
Much worse these days.
The presidency?
Yeah.
Law enforcement? Immigration enforcement? School boards?
Well, you're lumping them all. I think all of them need to be measured on their own accord.
Okay, but
can't
I think standards
districts.
have low. Yeah, definitely.
standards have suffered greatly. Why have they suffered greatly?
Do you want my dumb answer,
Sure.
or is that rhetorical? My
Well,
dumb
I
answer
can,
is
I'm going to take my shot at it, but you go ahead.
my dumb answer is that the internet has ruined everything. Now everybody behaves like they're anonymous and on the internet, and there's no more polite society. That's gone. People are bold and loud and stupid.
My answer is tribalism.
Well, that's part of the internet thing. I think the internet brought on, I think social media brought on tribalism.
Meaning, Kenny, somebody wouldn't go up to somebody and say, "You're fat, you should die," like they do on social
Did we
media.
behave this way in the 80s,
No.
the
you're
70s,
not. No.
the 60s?
No. I think it's endlessly fascinating. It's almost as though people are mentally jockeying all the time to figure out which side of history they want to fall on.
But can you pinpoint it to an age group? Baby boomers didn't behave that way.
I think they are now. I do.
You think they caught up?
Yes, I think the whole boomer crowd is
Changed their ways.
thick in the way of tribalism.
Not all.
on one side or the other.
I wouldn't say all of them, but a great degree. Yeah.
Great degree.
Yeah.
Because they're at least a generation that didn't go to the failed academy. They know how to read and write. They think. They talk.
You know who?
The younger people, that's a lost cause.
You know who I've noticed are the most stable? Are the guys and gals
Monks
the
in Switzerland.
Yeah, right.
well, almost, Joe. The boomers and the Xers with flip phones, and they don't have Facebook, they don't have Twitter, they don't do social. Those people, to me, are the best people we have right now.
But what about we always talk about 10%, 10%, 80. Is that shrinking? There's 80% of the people don't want to fight for either side on that extreme.
80% don't?
That's
That's
what I'm
pretty
saying.
generous
Is
on
it-
your part.
Is it
think,
20, 20, and 60 now? I don't know.
How about 30, 30, and 40?
Wow.
I think a lot of people are being forced to take a side.
I'll go
And
30, 30, and 40.
And if you don't take a side, you're just as bad as the other side, whichever side that might be.
And one side will hate you if you don't hate the people they want you to hate enough.
Okay, well then don't give them the equal 30-30. So maybe it's 40, 25. Friday. TGI Friday. You know, do you
Ladies and
think
gentlemen, that
do-
was Rookie trying to do math in real time.
But I believe that the left is more aggressive than the far right.
You know what we need to do?
Oh, how can you say that?
I think you're crazy.
Think about it logically. It's
can't
the
even do the
far
math.
right now that is exercising the physical control that you now see on the streets. Is that not aggressive?
It's too aggressive for me. I'm not.
You know
I'm
what we
not in
should
that
do,
pile.
Joe? What you should do with this show
What?
is we should go
Quit
to
it.
Phil. Well, we should go to Phil Mackey and beg to start a sports show.
I don't.
Let's do that.
Why in the hell didn't Belichick get in the Hall of Fame?
I don't know. Call me now.
Listen, we've got baseball. We can do NFL. I'll do anything racing related. It'd be awesome.
We got the Olympic team.
It's
the
our
gals
the
just left the
GL
airport
Roundtable, the
to
sports
Torino.
update, the Roundtable.
I'm in.
Sweaty to vessel that one, Kenny. Let's get back to the show.
Yeah.
I want to break down Garth's quote again.
Well, NASCAR's going back to work next month at the Daytona 500.
Brought to you by Mountain Dew.
Here, let's read Garth's quote again. The bottom line of politically correct thought on the matter. Okay, the matter he's talking about is climate change.
Okay.
But the key phrase would be politically correct thought. So you could plug anything you want in there instead of climate change. All right? So let's plug something in. Immigration. Should we plug that in?
Yeah, let's give it a go.
Very timely.
All right. And correct me if I'm wrong. Perhaps the whole idea of being fair to the bottom line of politically correct thought on the matter, the thought that we must collectively and do something drastic now to prevent illegal immigration in the future. Well, I don't think that'll work. Because I think what one tribe wants is unfettered immigration. Just anything goes. Come on in, and we're on stolen land anyway, so what difference does it make?
Well, they're arguing the pickup of Juan Juarez, who isn't a target, who just happens to be walking by and looks like a Mexican guy.
Well, the part where he's correct is that the overall sanity of mankind is being called into question. All right? For what it's worth, one possible theory is that mankind, or at least a fraction of it, that has become both overeducated and more delicate, boy, can't we say that's true? We are a delicate bunch of people here, you know?
Eggshells.
And, overeducated and more delicate as a result of massive increase in wealth, which I happen to also agree with. We've always talked about vast prosperity. I mean, the poorest people in this country own 2 color sets and a car.
Yes.
I got 3.
There is
3 trucks.
3 trucks. I know
Very
you have
poor.
3. Yep,
Struggling.
I know. Has, as a result of massive increase of its wealth in recent times, has managed to remove the beliefs of existing religions from its consideration and now misses them. Anyone have a comment on that?
Meaning that their cause is now a new religion and forget conventional Christ followers or non-Christians.
I think, and I'll just use this 50-year framework. I think, because that's only 1976.
I can't believe that.
So you go back 50 years, I would suspect that the wheel has already been turning to lead us into this direction we're in now. But at 50 years ago, it was not nearly as strident. I think 50 years ago, people went to church.
Yes.
And chances are 50 years ago, the guy 2 pews over might have been a college professor, and the guy 3 pews over the other way might have been a police officer, and the guy 4 pews in front of you might have owned a hardware store, was a school teacher.
You're describing 1030 Mass at Nativity
I know,
50 years ago.
I know. And so, and then if you weren't at Mass, you were at a Lutheran celebration, or you were at the synagogue, or you were a Baptist or whatever, and then church was over, and then you led your life in a way that suggested a commonality. You know, you see each other at the store, how you doing, and he's, Your kids are on the same little league teams. Oh boy, how's Johnny doing? He's doing great, and on this and that. And so what Garth is suggesting is that's gone. Those forms of worship, those adherences to a particular theology, they're gone and have been replaced by these secular things we're devoted to. In this case, climate change. And he's saying that's not fulfilling enough. People miss the touchstone that humans might have had with actual faith.
But do they know they miss it?
According to Garth, they miss it. And so they are attempting to replace it. Rather than just return to church and lead your life, they're replacing it with new forms of worship. In this case, again, it was climate change. And harsh reality has now hit the climate change people right in the face because AI came along and is going to demand so much electricity that you climate change people, shut up for a while. We got to do this. We got to build a new power plant. On and on and on and on. Climate change has been taken off the agenda, however temporarily. I hope forever, because it was always nonsense. Because I've always sensed this. I've always sensed it was nothing but a means to redefine human behavior. It was always a means that was going to be used to control human behavior, whether here or in Uganda or in Berlin or in Omaha. It was always a means to change the way we act and behave. And I always thought it was BS.
And your guy, Garth, his argument is, yes, there's global warming, but not enough to make a difference or change the world.
No, he's calling into question, in fact, the sanity of people who would believe such a thing. He said the argument is so full of holes. Well, where does he say it now? As a replacement, it has manufactured, meaning humans, a set of beliefs about climate change that can be used to guide and ultimately control human behavior. Well, why don't we replace some words here? As a replacement, it has manufactured a set of beliefs about the way America works or how it should work that can be used to guide and ultimately control human behavior. Does that sentence work with the replacement words?
Yes.
Sure.
The beliefs are similar to those of the established religions in that they are more or less unprovable in any strict scientific sense. Okay. You can't say we don't live in interesting times.
I'll say. Boy, I wish we could play that.
What?
I wish we could play our sounder that we have about the Beach Boys, about interesting times.
I just wasn't made for these times.
Yeah, we weren't.
Thank you.
Same song.
But we can't 'cause it's like
Some
music.
song I heard.
Right.
It's interesting that this direction of the conversation, Joe, kind of mirrors this headline I've been looking at all morning from Alpha News. Retired deputy sheriff says in Minneapolis, politics overshadow responsible law enforcement. And it talks about how Chief O'Hara has kind of traded in his badge for a protest whistle. I just thought kind of an interesting juxtaposition there.
It never would have struck me prior to today that having a little brief chat with a water department employee, I'm very serious about this, could have proven to be so refreshing. You never would have thought that
in a million
50 years ago.
Well, ever.
You know, part of, if I can go back to Kenny's earlier argument about the internet,
Yeah.
part of what he just said, I think that's what causes a lot of our problems. He had that story about O'Hara. If you go online, you'll find 50 stories on both sides of that that people use to justify and back up their argument.
Yeah.
Without that internet, you know, perhaps it'd be easier to live in the world and just talk about stuff.
John, and maybe you agree with me, that's the worst part about the job we're doing is just pouring through the left and the right and the, oh my God, it's just exhausting.
Well,
reading
and we're
these
unique in that
extreme
regard
positions.
because we've held out tribal membership.
Yeah.
I don't want to belong to a tribe. I don't want to say one side is right, the other side can't possibly be right. I can't do that. That's not me. When you go to bed at night, you got to be square with the world.
Yeah. And that to me, I can't even, what you said, I wish I could have an opinion, know it myself, and not have to share it
And
with
then go on
anybody.
with my life.
Just stop on the street corner and talk to the guy who's doing the water.
Yeah.
You know, I'm not thinking about politics when I open my kitchen window and shoot a squirrel with my 22.
I'm surprised you even opened the window.
That's
it's winter.
You know what, Joe?
It's winter.
What you experienced this morning, I think, is one of the main reasons I love living out here. We don't spend a lot of time talking about politics.
Oh, it's terrible. The
Yeah.
closer you get to the country's tallest buildings, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It's dominating. It's obsessive. It's controlling. It's horrible. It's horrible.
When I pull over to pull somebody out of the snowbank off the highway, I don't question their politics before I hook up the tow strap. You know what I mean? We're all just in this together. You know?
I know a little kid who came home from school and reported that some other little kid had a birthday.
Okay.
But she felt that the people singing to her weren't into it.
Couldn't get
Boy, I
behind
wonder
it.
who she got that from, Joe.
And she felt bad. And I just said, well, it's just bless her heart. Bless her heart. She's aware of that feeling, you know. That's, I guess, apropos of nothing.
How many
but-
times has the mayor brought that up after kind of a more relaxed "Hail you" response? Huh?
Brought up what? Oh, yeah,
Well,
I'm
I
not
don't think
feeling
you
it.
guys were feeling it
Yeah,
that
he didn't
time.
feel it. I want more
What the
yelling.
hell?
Hail you, whatever.
Goodbye. I'm taking a break.
Okay.
Okay.
I got her.
There you got it. You get
It's
it.
the end of the world as we know it, and he feels fine. Joe Souchere.
I'm going to give you an example of something before we get to Johnny. All right, I'm going to read you something. Is this a tribe story?
Okay.
FBI agents were seen yesterday carrying out a search at an election hub in Fulton County, Georgia, a location that became ground zero for concerns and complaints about voter fraud in 2020. Agents were seen entering the Fulton County Election Hub and Operations Center, a new facility that state officials opened in 2023 that was designed to streamline their election processes. It was not immediately clear what the FBI agents were investigating, but the probe is related to the 2020 election. The Bureau said in a statement that FBI Atlanta was executing a court-authorized law enforcement action at 5600 Camp Belton Fairburn Road. Our investigation in this matter is ongoing, so there are no details that we can provide at the moment, the Bureau said. The Department of Justice did not provide comment. President Trump lost the election in 2020 in Georgia by a wafer-thin margin, and claimed various instances of fraud had tainted the results. Those claims did not survive court scrutiny. Fulton, which includes Atlanta and is the state's most populous county, drew significant attention at the time. A machine count and 2 recounts confirmed that former President Biden had won the state, leading Trump to feud with Georgia's leaders for years. The DOJ sued Fulton County last month, seeking access to ballots related to the 2020 election. The county is fighting the lawsuit, saying the DOJ has not made a valid argument for accessing them. Is that a tribal story or a real story, or what is that? Is that a tribal story?
It's a real story that will get spun by both sides as being tribal, like you said earlier.
It's 6 years ago. We're going on 6 years. You lost Georgia. Sorry.
Oh, so you're making it a tribal story.
Well, I think that's the way it's going to be looked at.
All right.
You got to get over it.
Well, what the hell?
You got to get over it.
What are you going to do? Now you got Pam Bondi as one of her, I don't think it's been taken off the table. She said, well, we could talk about getting ICE out of here. We got a few things we'd like you to do, one of which is to turn over the voter rolls. Well,
you don't think they should?
We're not the mafia, for God's sakes.
But
nice little state you got here. Too bad if anything should happen to it.
Yeah.
It's too late it wouldn't change anything, right, if they found malfeasance?
That's a great question. I don't know.
I'm assuming it wouldn't, but wouldn't you want to know anyway if there was malfeasance?
And not to mention, wouldn't it also help, once again, if there was cooperation?
I would like to know, going back to, I don't know, FDR. I want to know how much voter malfeasance we've had in this country.
Well, then...
Not that it will change any... Well, of course it'll change things in the future.
Then a question is begged.
Okay.
Who do you trust?
Well, you know who I trust.
I don't know who you trust.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, that's
That
pretty
makes more
much all of
sense.
us.
Okay.
Who in the hell do you trust?
Yeah.
I don't trust anything.
Hey, huh?
How many investigations
Yeah.
would convince people on either side?
Yeah,
that it was
you're
kosher?
right. You're right.
We had
you're right.
60.
We had a lot of investigations about this. I accept them. End of story. But the tribes will not say end of story.
But when the state, remember a couple of weeks ago when we started to investigate the SNAP benefits fraud, and the state refused to turn over the amount of people and who exactly was receiving the benefits? Well, then all you're doing is you're leading everyone to have suspicion about what's going on here at the state level.
But back to the original story, what suspicion should there be about elections except people saying it online? There should be none. There's been 60 investigations.
But John, if there
Online,
isn't cooperation
computer,
from the state or local election officials, doesn't that just lead to suspicion again?
Well, where do you want them to stop asking for information?
Yeah.
Until we...
Well, no, where do you want them to stop?
I don't want them to stop until we find out what the results are.
Let Chris answer. Let Chris answer.
I want them to stop when we finally realize, okay, everything is on the up and up.
Haven't we already done that?
No, I don't think we have, John.
Okay.
So for that reason, it's just going to go on and on and on again.
Exactly.
No, fraud in this state has not been resolved. That has not been resolved.
Do you
very
predict?
obvious.
Do any one of you predict it will come back from the back burner, or is it gone?
Well, Trump
it'll come back.
Trump is either threatened to or has installed a new attorney to take over the fraud cases in Minnesota.
Right.
And you think that'll
Kickstart
it?
And with the governor's race coming up, I think that will be a main topic.
Walz today said he will never again run for any public office.
Oh, that's a shame.
I don't
please.
know if it sounds like he was sincere. I don't know.
What other office would he have run for?
I don't know. I think his betters at the national level would say, "Look, you've had your shot. You're not."
What if he's? I wonder if he's plucked by somebody out in D.C. that he will say, "Well, I wasn't elected, but I'll go to work for you."
I don't know.
When Amy gets elected governor, she can appoint him to her.
Senator Walz.
I think Amy's smart enough that she would not do that.
Probably.
Bet you $1.
I'll bet you $100. You got an extra $100?
No.
Okay, but I'll bet you 100.
I barely got an extra $1 right now.
Joe, let's play. I love this game, tribal or not tribal.
Yeah.
And you wanted me to read this tweet that I had early January, yesterday or the day before.
Let's give this a tribal spin.
I found it here. This
News
is
through the eyes of the tribe.
This is from January 9th, St. Paul Police Department, and there's a 1-minute video accompanying this. St. Paul Police, and it's my traffic account, Twitter account, MSP_traffic. St. Paul Police just grabbed a fella that was either barefoot or in socks who was walking eastbound on the westbound 94 exit ramp to 12th in downtown St. Paul. They walked him right over to the hospital and might have just saved him from frostbite. Is that a tribal story or not?
It could certainly be spun into one.
Each way.
Each way.
Each way. I have learned with this traffic account. By the way, I shut off comments so people can't even comment on my traffic account reports anymore, because each side, and I think I started doing this when I said something along the lines of a homeless guy from a nearby camp was walking on the freeway, something innocuous like that. And I had both sides breathing down my neck because, number one, he's not homeless, he's unhoused. Mm-hmm. That came from the left. Mm-hmm. And from the right, it was Democratic policies led to this. So my dumb little tweet caused a huge fight on Twitter when it wasn't even my intention. And so I don't use the words homeless anymore. I call them campers.
And overlooked in that scenario is standards. It's 20 below. There was a time when people wouldn't have been walking around in their bare feet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but here's Johnny Heidt.
Thanks, Joe. This news brought to you by North American
You
Baking.
can take
Have
the
fun,
whole rest of the show.
Okay. Yeah. Let's every story I'm going to read. Why don't we go tribal?
Yeah, we should.
Well, let's try it.
Okay. North American Baking Company is bringing you this newscast. We talked about this already. U.S. Senator Amy Klobuchar officially in the race for Minnesota governor. The state's senior senator made the formal announcement in a video this morning. She said these times call for leaders who can stand up and not be rubber stamps of this administration, but are willing to find common ground and fix things in our state. Klobuchar has been considering a run for governor since Tim Walz dropped his bid this month. She filed to form a campaign committee for governor last Thursday while she considered a run. She had planned to announce Monday that she was going to run, but the shooting death of Alex Preddy by 2 federal agents delayed those plans. In an interview with Tom Hauser downstairs, she said she was leaning toward a run for governor, but first wanted to focus on the ICE issues that were dominating the state. Klobuchar was first elected to the U.S. Senate in 2006, has been reelected by double-digit margins in 2012, 2018, and 2024. Prior to her time on Capitol Hill, she served as Hennepin County Attorney. From 1999 to 2006, a role she cited as evidence she can best root out fraud and waste in the state.
Well, that's an easy one. I'd be rooting for her to root out the fraud. But I'll have more to say on that tomorrow.
The man now charged with
Sorry, Johnny. I had something queued up about Amy. Someone found a campaign video of hers from 2006 and how different of a tune she's singing today. This is from 2006, courtesy of KSDP television.
Ms. Klobuchar, Thursday, President Bush signed a law approving a 700-mile fence on the U.S.-Mexican border. Is a fence good immigration policy or just good politics?
I do believe that we need more resources at the border and that includes a fence. What we have now, we have people waiting to come in legally. Thousands of people waiting to come in legally to this country, and we have people coming in illegally. That's not right. We need to get order at the border. But we also have to stop giving amnesty to companies that are hiring illegal immigrants. Under this administration, the number of prosecutions of companies has gone way down. That has to change.
That was good, Chris.
Has she listened to that recently?
That was good, Chris.
Thank you.
Well, it doesn't sound to me like she's opposed to enforcement.
Right.
Right, but it also, you're talking about the tribe thing. She wouldn't say that today.
That's pre-tribe.
That's pre-tribe.
I'd say 2006 is even pre-tribe.
When did the tribe start?
With Trump.
A good reporter would quote that and ask her, and it'd be fun and interesting to find out where she stands. I can't predict what she would say. I don't know.
The man now charged with managing the ongoing federal immigration enforcement and fraud investigation operations here in Minnesota pledged this morning massive changes with cooperation. Tom Homan, the White House's border czar, arrived in Minnesota earlier this week. He has since talked with Governor Walz and the mayors of both cities. This morning was the first time he spoke publicly, though, since arriving here. State and local leaders have repeatedly called for a reduction in the U.S. immigration and customs enforcement surge. Sorry.
Oh, no,
and are also,
no, sorry, John. I know you're reading a news story, but that's still got to get the...
I was going to change it, but I thought...
At this point.
Also suing the Department of Homeland Security to halt its ops here in Minnesota. Holman did acknowledge he's had what he called meaningful dialogue with several state and local leaders, said he plans to continue meeting with more. He said while they didn't agree on everything, he said bottom line is you can't fix problems if you don't have discussions. I came here to seek solutions. Multiple times, Homan said he expects a decrease in federal officers in the state based upon common sense cooperation and the discussion he's having with local and state officials. Specific details on any changes weren't disclosed, although Homan did note that the Minnesota Department of Corrections has been honoring ICE detainers, despite what Homeland Security has said, and said Attorney General Keith Ellison clarified that county jails can notify ICE of inmate release dates to facilitate transfers. However, state leaders have been saying that for weeks. Regardless, based on the cooperation, Homan said it will allow ICE to conduct more targeted, strategic enforcement ops that require fewer officers.
Did you watch the press conference, Joe?
I did not. I was working busily on this show.
Oh, and you were talking to your water
I should
people.
have probably should have watched that.
Well, because Kenny alerted me to it, so thank you, Ken. But the thing, it struck me as they took your advice. They kind of regrouped. Mm-hmm. They brought the adult in the room, because obviously Kristi Noem botched everything here. But it did feel like, okay, they are doing what you would advise them maybe a week or so ago.
I hope things calm down.
Yeah.
We had a great Krabby yesterday. We had former U.S. Attorney for Minnesota, Rachel Paulus, on. Very calm, level-headed, deep thinker. And we basically asked her everything we could about every single lawsuit that's playing out right now, surrounding everything from the protesters to the immigrant problem to fraud. And it was a great hour, Krabby Coffee Shop. You can find it on the GL network.
Very good. Yep, it was very good.
Johnny, before you continue, I mentioned the other day that fellow Cretan grad, Dan Walsh.
He had 2 votes, didn't he?
Yeah, he did pretty bad. He was an 89 grad. He was not an 88, but he did email me. And he said, Pat Whitty texted me and said, you mentioned me in the class. I included a file that I created during the last process from the tolerant and patient left. I got murdered, but was expected, yet we did come away with some good data, so you can tell Joe as he complains about the quality of the candidates offered up, that a framework is finally getting created without any help from the Republican Party. You're on your own in Senate District 64. Thanks, Dan. He sent me the link, and it is...
Well, send it to me.
I will. It's vile. F-U.
Well, what do you mean? You're making no sense. I don't know what you're...
constituents in 64B saying, as he ran for office, he saved all of their comments. Unless you're talking about ICE...
So you're seeing some tribalism there.
People are being murdered by ICE, and you're worried about fraud. Burn in hell.
Wow.
I will send it to you.
Yeah. You should really seek out that presser this morning with Holman. He is your type of guy. You will really like listening to him talk.
I do, and I know he worked for Obama. There is that slight problem where he accepted a $50,000 bribe that Trump excused.
50 grand's really not that much in
It
this
is.
day and age.
It's
You know,
not
let's
that
just sweep
You know
it
what
under
that
the
is?
rug.
That's pocket
Come
money.
on, sweep it under the rug.
How many kids could he feed with 50 grand?
Not many in this state.
Isn't that how much I owe you?
Yes.
Oh.
Follow up
With interest, yes.
Over the years, yes.
U.S. District Court Judge Patrick Schultz apparently is not done yet. He wrote in an order Wednesday, ICE has likely violated more court orders in January 2026 than some federal agencies have violated in their entire existence. You remember we had this story earlier this week. Schultz ordered ICE's acting director to personally appear in Minnesota court to answer to his agency's repeated issues with compliance. However, when ICE released the individual the agency was wrongfully detaining, Schultz canceled that hearing.
Right.
However, he wrote, this does not end the court's concerns. However, the chief judge noted that a hurriedly compiled list shows at least 96 instances of ICE violating court orders in 74 cases just in January, and he says there are surely others. Homeland Security, meanwhile, is trying to deflect from Schultz, calling him just another activist judge. But his history would appear,
tribalism.
his history would appear to go against that narrative. He started his career working as a clerk, 2 separate occasions for man many consider the standard bearer of conservative judges, Antonin Scalia. Schultz considered part of the conservative legal tradition associated with Scalia. He was also a mentor and teacher of current Supreme Court Justice Amy Coney.
See, it used to be there was no conservative or liberal interpretation of the law. It was the law.
It was the law.
It was the law, period. That was the law.
The brother of the man filmed charging Representative Ilhan Omar to spray her with a syringe says his brother's a piece of bleep who had twisted hatred for the Somali community for decades. Anthony Kazmierczak's estranged brother said, I'm not surprised this happened. His brother lives in North Carolina. He said, unfortunately, he and my mother are both right-wing extremists. The brother says he has not had any contact with either one for several years. We talked about it yesterday. Kazmierczak ran at Omar as she was at a town hall podium criticizing Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and calling for the abolishment of ICE. He was charged this morning in criminal complaint charges Anthony James Kazmierczak with 1 count of forcibly assaulting a federal employee in the performance of their official duties.
Did anyone see? Have we confirmed that the photo that she posed with him is that real? By the way,
No.
I have not seen that.
it was.
Of course it's not.
Well, okay.
The one where he's holding up money?
No. She's just posing with him
Oh,
before
I didn't see that.
before the
My
town
guess is
hall.
the one where they're holding up money is probably not
That's
real.
fake.
Yeah.
That's fake.
Because I found it weird that she didn't go to the hospital after the chemical was sprayed on her.
Really
and,
bizarre.
I know.
and
That's
B,
very
and
trusting.
B, she was hugging people even after the town hall event was done.
Well,
smell like vinegar.
again, your problem is where are you going to find a guy that wants to go to jail?
Well, what was it? What was the charge, Johnny?
Take
1
me
count
to
of
jail.
what?
Assault against a federal employee.
Okay.
It's a felony.
Yep. Okay.
It's a felony.
It's
I don't
funny.
care how screwed up the guy is. He probably wasn't screwed up enough to say, yeah, I'm going to do this. Pay me and I'll go to jail for 5 years. I don't think so.
Everything's on the up and up.
No.
I
everything's
believe
in
it
the
totally.
air.
Yep.
Yeah.
Why don't we take
She's
a-
so above staging something like that too. I really do
Well,
believe
you
Is
know,
that.
apple cider vinegar now on a some
Can't anything
list?
be what it is?
No.
Well, then you're
No.
playing right into the tribal thoughts.
Can I give a zinger
Beyond
to
the
Chris
tribal
that I
thoughts.
usually save for Matthew?
Yes, yeah,
I have a
please.
zinger
My
to
back
it.
is Atlas.
You know,
my
it's
back
better
is
to be
heavy.
thought stupid than to open your mouth and prove it.
Amen to
Chris,
that.
no, I'm going to cross out Matthew's name here and put in Chris.
All right.
I admire how you never let evidence interfere with your opinions.
Thanks,
You do
Kenny.
have a good
You're
list
welcome.
going. You do have a good list going. I think you should drop those whenever it's called.
I
It's
feel
called
like
for.
Atlas. The weight has been lifted off of me.
Why don't
Yeah,
we-
I have found it's more fun giving them to Matthew because he has a sense of humor.
Oh wow.
And probably
that
doesn't
was a low
understand
blow.
half of them, right?
Chris, that was a low blow.
A lot of shots at Chris all
It
in
really
one day.
was.
So let's send it over to Mr. Tinfoil Hat. See what he's got to tell us.
I'm going to tell you about
Linda.
our buddy Linda Keller and
Linda.
Keller Tax
Yeah.
Service because guess what, you dumb SOBs? It's tax season.
I got my
the
packet
season.
from Linda this last week.
I actually got mine Tuesday in the mail as well. So here's the deal, ladies
I
and
get
gentlemen.
those packets. I never do a damn thing with them.
What do you
You
mean?
just bring
Well,
it- he
that's
just
your
brings
that out.
mistake.
a brown paper bag.
I got
full
a
of
lunch
receipts
bag
and
full of
says-
stuff. It's his
Yeah,
problem.
They love to see him coming around the corner.
Linda.
I got to stop and talk to the water people first, though.
Yeah.
And then not pay at the pump.
Right.
That's
Since I-
communism.
Since I talked to you and I used it in my column and I did it on the radio, can I write off my water bill?
Yeah.
John, what were you
that's
going
a
to
good
say?
idea.
Nothing,
right
nothing,
there.
Okay.
nothing.
320-352-0013 or KellerTaxService.com. She's been handling my taxes for years. She's been handling Kenny for a couple of years and Johnny as well. She's the absolute best. And you know what? She doesn't want you to pay any more money than you have to. She hates the government more than all of us do. So go with the absolute best. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Whether you have a family, you're doing personal taxes, whether you own a business, she handles all types of returns for all types of businesses. And she's a true and loyal GLer. That's how this relationship started years ago. So go online and also go to that website, KellerTaxService.com. She updates all sorts of different tax law changes. It has the most up-to-date information on her website. But get on the schedule now. Do not wait until the very last minute. KellerTaxService.com or 320-352-0013. Book that appointment and please let Linda know that you heard about her here on the Garage Logic Podcast. Johnny Heidt.
Oh, back to news as I sit here stretching. and
That's
yawning.
okay.
Yeah.
The Federal Reserve yesterday held interest rates steady at 3.5 to 3.75% for the first time since July. U.S. stock markets closed near the flat line on that news. The dollar rebounded slightly after hitting a nearly 4-year low Tuesday, amid concerns about the Reserve's independence and potential U.S. military action in Greenland, Latin America, and the Middle East. Mississippi dispatching 500 National Guard troops to clear roads blocked by fallen trees, and Tennessee had nearly 1,000 linemen scrambling to restore power to thousands of Nashville homes as the southern states race to recover from a crippling winter storm before another blast of dangerous cold hits on Friday. National Weather Service said Arctic air moving into the southeast will cause already frigid temps to plunge into the teens Friday night in cities like Nashville. That's bad because right now more than 90,000 homes and businesses are in their 5th day with no electricity in Nashville. At least 80 people have died in areas afflicted with bitter cold from Texas to New Jersey.
I've seen some footage where they're showing the ice that's at least a half-inch thick on top of vehicles and cars and whatnots.
Don't throw hot water on the car.
Yeah, don't do that.
A lot of poles falling on vehicles, too, because of the ice.
Yeah.
U.S. President Trump warning Iran yesterday, that an armada was heading toward it, and it should make a deal with the U.S. on its contested nuclear program or face a large...
Armada? What is this, 1836?
Well, that's a frequently used word,
what
Matt.
it's called.
I haven't heard armada since
No.
I was studying history.
Matt, it's a good
bunch
word.
of boats.
Matt,
A fleet.
no, it's okay. It's okay.
Armada, the Spanish Armada is attacking you.
Armada's fine.
Yeah.
Was that an extended version of bleep that word?
Yeah, the Spanish Armada is coming
Just
to
relax.
get
It's not Spanish.
you. Okay.
Settle down.
Posting on Trump
Armada.
social
I'm
media.
outraged.
Truth Social, he posted a massive armada is heading to Iran. It's moving quickly with great power, enthusiasm, and purpose.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
It's an enthusiastic armada.
I've never heard of that.
Well, you just relax.
Got it.
It's a larger fleet, he continued writing, headed by the great aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln. And then, what? Wait a minute now. It's a larger, there we go. It's a larger fleet headed by the great aircraft carrier Abraham Lincoln than that was sent to Venezuela. And like with Venezuela, it's ready, willing, and able to rapidly fulfill its mission with speed and violence if necessary. Trump said he hoped Iran would come to the table to negotiate what he called a fair and equitable deal regarding its nuclear weapons program. Time is running out, he added. It is truly of the essence.
I hope
Isn't the Iran Navy just a bunch of guys with some Boston whalers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Some
hope the
inflatables?
You can't sync them.
Yeah.
John, I love to, in my head, assign music, soundtrack. What would be the soundtrack for an enthusiastic armada? What was that song in Apocalypse Now? Dun, 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 dun,
I'm going to go with Don't Go Back to Rockville.
No, it's got to be something by Metallica or something kick-ass.
Whatever of the Valkyries, right? Isn't that the one?
Yeah,
I think
Flight of the Valkyries.
Flight of the Valkyries.
Yeah,
thank
yeah.
you. I couldn't think
I
of
hope
the
the Armada has a large collection of cannonballs.
Matt, you pick the funniest things to
You're
get
really
outraged
worried about this,
Oh,
aren't
what
you?
the hell says Armada?
Hey, it's a word in the Navy.
I don't know.
I saw a
He
great
does
quote.
not
the,
approve.
great quote the other day, Joe, because you brought up REM, and I know they're one of your favorite bands.
Yeah.
A great quote from Pete Townsend
Yeah,
of The Who.
yeah.
who hates all the hair bands and the whatevers, that kind of bands. He said, I would trade 100, make that 150 Def Leppards for just one more REM.
Really? Yeah. I'm not much of a Def Leppard fan.
No.
Pour some sugar on me?
Come
on.
That's a stripper song.
It totally is.
That's an Armada song.
Why did he half double down from 100 to 150?
I just wanted 50 more.
Oh. Yeah, well, it's worth 50 more.
Got it.
No, 150. No, 175.
No, how many,
no, 200.
John, how many Bruce Springsteens would he trade in for an REM?
There's
I don't
an
think
intense
any.
rumor.
I'm going to guess he's a big fan of Bruce Springsteen. I don't know that, but I'm going
The
to guess.
intense rumor is that Bruce will be at First Avenue tomorrow afternoon.
You going?
I don't have any strings to pull with First Avenue. I just don't know how
I
to
used
get in
to,
there.
but those days have been over
I've
for
tried. I want
25 years.
That is an appearance with, if it shows up,
Tom Morello.
Morello from Rage Against the Machine, who will be performing at noon, which is a very odd time to perform at First Avenue.
Well, most of the people that would attend don't have a job.
No, but here's a question. Here's a question. This is a resistance concert, anti-ice, right?
All the money goes to the families of Renee Good and Alex Preddy.
Oh, okay. But what? They hold 300 people. What?
The main room?
First Ave?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been in there a while.
I wouldn't want to go for all the bitching you're going to get between the songs. Just blah, 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 blah.
I wonder if it can be verified that Anthony Edwards gave $514,000 to ICE.
That did not happen.
That did not happen. All right.
No.
All right.
I got media tickets for tomorrow. Springsteen's going to be up there about 1:30.
I don't think there are media
tickets. Why don't you and your Armada go over there?
America's Guest is going.
Yeah.
So, John, that would suggest that a lot of the protesters that would show up are going to have to take the day off of work.
Well, actually, tomorrow, Chris, they're having another. If you followed the news,
I do, John. I'm just trying to make a quip.
Have you ever held a newspaper?
We don't know that.
Yeah, that one that I just put in the garbage can right
he
there.
has read so many headlines, Joe. You wouldn't believe it.
Oh yeah, I'm the headline master. I'm the Armada of headline readers.
His newspaper just lines the kitty litter box.
Spotify paid the music industry more than $11 billion in royalties last year, according to the company.
Billion?
Billion with a B.
Wow.
The payout is reportedly the largest ever to musicians, but big deal because they pay 0.004 cents per stream.
Well, then, can you imagine how many streams result in $11 billion?
Yeah.
Jeez.
And to give you some idea what that is, I had to pull out my calculator. So if I have a record and it gets streamed 1 million times on Spotify, they're going to pay me $4,000. Woohoo!
Oh. So 2026 musicians are still getting screwed. That's amazing to me.
Well, yeah, I mean,
wow, that is so disappointing.
If you're
John.
not going on the road, you aren't making any money.
Yeah.
God, that's disappointing. Wow. And that money they make probably has to be paid back to the record company for loaning it to them to make the record.
Well, that's why there's so many independent bands now who just go and tour constantly. It's all the money's theirs.
It's all
the merchandise money's all
record companies. It's always been the biggest scam going, and it continues to be in 2026.
Who managed the Eagles? What's his name?
Irving Azoff.
No, then he got taken over by who? The rich guy I'm thinking of. The billionaire. He dated Cher for a while.
Irving Azoff still controls
No, the other guy. Come
David
on,
Geffen,
he's a big...
but Geffen hasn't been associated with him in years.
Geffen said, you'll be rich, he's telling the Eagles, but I'll be richer.
Yeah.
Well, okay. The company also claimed there are more artists making over $100,000 annually on the platform than artists who were stocked on record shelves during the CD era. I find that impossible to believe. I'm sorry.
Artists, are they talking the songwriting credit, or are they talking 5 guys in a band? What's $100,000 divided by 5? That's nothing. They're not making any money.
It's a good point. I didn't even think of that.
Taylor Swift's probably making a few bucks.
Made $20,000 last year.
I think Taylor Swift kind of skews those numbers, Joe, don't you think?
Yeah,
David Geffen and Elliot Roberts managed the group in their early days. Then Irving Azoff has been managing the band since 1974.
And Elliot Roberts manages Neil Young.
Yeah, and Irving Azoff manages Steely Dan.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. See, it's all one big.
And Derek Shelton manages the Twins.
Danville, Illinois, is where your Irving Azoff is. A non-believer.
Where did that come
Andy,
from?
where's your quote again?
His Wikipedia page. I'm just looking
That
him
is
up.
so awesome, Matthew.
It's a non-believer.
Been married to the same gal since '78, though. That's to his credit.
Yep.
What did they have at their wedding, do you think?
Matzo balls,
Matthew,
Cecil's.
I love
They
how
had
you.
Cecil's do it, didn't they?
I bet they did. Aaron probably got down there. Aaron was down there with his Rubens.
Works at a plug.
Matthew,
Yes.
I love how you speak outside of the box. It's clear that no one's ever invited you in the box.
Yeah.
There was a mime once.
Yeah.
Tried to get in the box, but I was
Oh,
blocked
I
out because
get-
of the glass.
Speaking of mimes, have you guys watched the Mel Brooks two-parter on HBO?
No,
I have not.
Not yet.
I saw an
but I
ad
will.
for it, though. It looks great.
It's fun. If you like Mel Brooks, you'll love it.
Okay.
I just thought of that because of Silent Movie when Marcel Marceau had the only line in the movie. Since he's a mime,
That's
Get it?
funny.
You get the
That's
joke,
funny.
That's kind of a joke there. isn't
kind of a joke. Get it?
Oh,
So
you
you're
gotta
saying
love Mel Brooks.
Mel Brooks with the wife probably not going to be a hit.
What?
it? What?
Watching that with the wife's probably not going to be a big hit.
Oh,
right.
Well, I don't
No.
know. Well,
Yeah, I don't think
depends
she
on your
needs it.
wife.
Do
I
they
guess.
cover in the documentary? Do they cover Blazing Saddles?
Oh, they cover extensive. They cover all of his movies extensively, starting with the producers.
Yeah.
What
The
about
original
Spaceballs? Does Spaceballs have a prominent role?
Yeah,
Oh,
Spaceballs,
good.
Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, and the producers have the most airtime. It's a two-parter. It's
Good.
almost 4 hours.
Comb the desert.
So, a lot of interviews.
Big pick.
That clip, Rook, is in there.
Oh, God, I love that. It's one of my favorites.
Does he admit that Blazing Saddles could not be made today?
He does not say that, no, although other people come on and say it.
Tribalism would prevent it today.
I had forgotten Dave Chappelle was in Men with Tights, Robin Hood Men with Tights. That was like his first
Oh, for Pete's sake.
performance.
really?
Yeah. There's a lot of interviews. Dave Chappelle,
Was he
everybody.
sheepish or was he walking with confidence?
You know who's funny? Chappelle. That's funny.
Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Nice knockers.
Thank you, Doctor.
What knockers? What knockers? Not
Thank
nice.
you, Doctor.
What?
That's right.
Oh, yeah. What
knockers?
knockers?
What knockers? Oh,
Thank you, Doctor.
Oh, I
Let me
love
read
Jerry
you,
Jones.
John.
Joe, or- Okay, I'm
Oh,
done.
thank you, John.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
We taking a break?
Sure.
Okay.
'82, I was 17, my old man was 55. If you do the math between the two of us, that's 72 years of life. An eternity, so it seemed to me. How could anything live that long? Now I say my folks were only 84 the year that they passed on. For a little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look around and you see 100 years ain't what it used to be. And my grandpa Roy, when he was a boy in 1904, he was taught by men who fought in the actual Civil War. And only 8 decades passed, and my high school class put the tassels on the other side. Started on our way full of naivete on the great American ride. The months and years slide past, each more quickly than the last. Pretty soon you look around and you'll see 100 years ain't what it used to be. Oh, Johnny!
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, Johnny Heidt.
should be doing for my heart. If I use the wrong pillow, I might have trouble getting out of bed. My hair grows in my ears and nose now more than on my head. As a kid, to me, ancient history was something like World War I. But I arrived close to that time, and this year as I sing this song, and I'm starting to find I can wrap my mind around life is brief and dear. I can hardly believe my baby girl's turned 26 this year. Oh, little while it seems you got time to choose your dreams. Pretty soon you look.
Not again, Dad.
The Earth is not your mother. The Joe Souchere Show.
Say the 2026 North American Banking Company Minnesota Golf Show is coming up Friday, Feb 13. GL will be there through Sunday, Feb 15. Well, I mean, we'll be there only on the 13th. It's at the Minneapolis Convention Center. You can try to sink a putt for $100,000, try out the latest equipment, get great deals on golf apparel. And then, there's a lounge there right next to us, I think.
Yes, sir. The 19th hole.
And it's Pebble Beach weekend, so that'll be on TV. Oh. But here's the best part. Each ticket purchase comes with access to 15 greens free greens fee passes.
Are they free?
15 free greens fee passes. John Randall will be wandering around, former Viking and NFL Hall of Famer. To purchase tickets, visit mngolf.com. And I'm sorry, that was wrong. Yeah. Visit mngolfshow.com.
Sounds like me in the studio
One word,
today.
mngolfshow.com.
Your attention, please.
Your attention, please. mngolfshow.com.
You know, there's a whole new way to look at the Ilhan Omar incident.
Oh?
Latricia Vito was there. And I kind of I respect what Latricia says. And she said that it happened just the way it did. And she was there with Bobby Joe Champion, Esther Abaji, Councilmember Pearl Warren, and Hennepin County Commissioner. Why am I talking like that?
I'm not sure.
And somebody named Irene Fernando. And then during the event, well, what does she say? She says, I strongly condemn this act and any attempt to threaten or silence elected officials, staff, or residents. Despite this incident, I remain committed to showing up, serving Ward 4, and standing firmly for safety, accountability, and respect in our public spaces. I am grateful for many messages of concern and support and will share additional information as it becomes available. Latricia Vito, Ward 4. So she was there, and if that's the way she says it went down, that's the way it went down.
Gotcha.
I don't need that. I don't need that. I need this. Only because they come to us all the way from Kaiwaka, New Zealand, the traveling linemen. It was on this day,
January 29th.
In 1900, on this day, a fire destroyed much of the business section of Morristown, Rice County. It burned 20 buildings, including a bank, post office, and hotel. On this day,
Jan 29,
1906, Catholic Bishop John Ireland dedicated the organ in the Church of the Immaculate Conception in Faribault.
Yes. I went to that church.
Still exist?
Kind of. It combined with a couple of the other Catholic churches and
Is
moved.
that magnificent musical instrument still there, I wonder?
I believe it is part of the new church, but that's where I had my first communion and my what do you call it? The other thing,
confession?
Baptism.
You know,
Yes.
you really need to get back to the church.
On this
Confirmation?
day,
confirmation. Thank you, Kenny. Thank you,
on
Kenny.
this, what's your confirmation name?
Well, that's a good question.
Well, never mind.
Who was the
then.
bishop that confirmed you?
Father George Freeman.
On this day,
Jan 29.
in 2002, Mi Mua was elected to the Minnesota Senate. She was the first Hmong American to serve in any state legislature. Also on this day,
Jan 29.
in 2002, same thing. She was elected. Why is there twice there?
2 days in a row. Good day for her.
It was a big deal.
2 wins.
On this day in sports disappointment history,
Who'd we lose to, Joe, on Jan 29?
well, on January 29th, 1984, Les Steckel was officially announced as the head coach of the Vikings.
Hasn't he been stricken from the records, or shouldn't he be?
So let me see if I get this straight, because yesterday we realized in 1984 on January 28th, Bud Grant retired finally again.
Right.
So he was succeeded by Les Steckel.
Yes.
Boy,
For
that's,
one
But
year.
then Bud came back.
In 84.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then didn't Les show up in an Army uniform and
Oh, yeah,
stuff?
the whole deal.
Marine.
Tried to be a tough guy, and that didn't work. And Bud came
And you
back.
still have to wear black shoes.
Thank you, GLers.
Yes. Yes. Thank you.
Please.
Do us a favor and hit the subscribe
Hey,
button.
give it to me like your attention, please.
Your attention, please.
Thank
Garage Logic can be found on YouTube.
You know, Reaver's got the same voice you do.
Hey. No, he doesn't.
You
No,
could do that.
I'm under. I have not been briefed on that specific
Yeah, you got to know what's going
challenge. But you can
oh,
also.
I didn't do the GLer of the week.
We can do it tomorrow. Don't worry about it, bro.
All right.
Don't worry, we'll forget about it tomorrow.
Yep. You can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, and X. Just search
Here's
Garage
a
Logic.
little clue, though.
What?
TK, you stay tuned.
The only TK I know is Tom Kelly.
Your attention, please.
Yeah. Hello.
What else? What else, Hannah? What now?
MinnesotaGolfShow.com, GarageLogic.com.
Yep. Sign up for the Daily Logician. It's all there for. Hey, if you want to become GLer of the Week, upgrade to an annual Town Council membership today at GarageLogic.com.